as you can see right there. So if you notice, you can see that I'm fitting on the top of, on the right side of my lace. Okay, for the front, this is the part that will be on the front skirt, so I'm fitting it on top of this. Okay, then coming over to the back pieces, this is the back, one part of the back piece of my skirt. This is the center back, okay, of my skirt. So you know, normally when you are sewing this skirt, you'll be placing right side to right side this way. Can you see? So now this is the center back and this is the side back. So I'm going to fit as it is, right side to right side on this skirt, on the quarter of the back skirt. So whatever thing I do here, I'm going to repeat on the other part of the skirt. So this is what I have for my back piece of skirt. So remember, I'm working with a waist 40 inches and this is a quarter, so I'm working with 10 inches now. But remember, we have a zip here at 1 inch, so 10 plus 1 will give us 11. So I'll measure from end to end of my skirt. I have 12.5 and I'm working with 11. Okay, so I'll just quickly come in here and I'm going to mark my 10.5. Sorry, I'm going to mark my 11. I'm working with 10 inches plus 1 inch, that is 11. So I'll just mark my 11 inches. Then I'll come over to the hip. Note that the hip, we are taking 9 inches plus seam allowance. So I'll mark my hip line. This is my hip line. So at that hip line, I'm working with hip 48 divided by 4. That will give me 12 plus 1 inch for the zip. That is 13 inches. So I'll just mark at 13 inches. Okay. Then I will come over to my waist, my knee line. So on the knee line, I'm going to mark on the curvy part of it. Remember the knee line, I told you we took away 2 inches from a quarter of the hip. The quarter of the hip is 12, 2 minus 2 inches is 10 inches. So here I'm going to mark 10 inches, okay? 10 inches plus 1 inch, which is 11 inches. So this is my 11 inches. I will make my mark. So if you look at these marks, you can see they are all there for you to place your pattern curve. So I'll just place using the 40 inches which we are working on the hip, pointing it to the waist. So if I point it to the waist, this is what I have. Okay, I'll just make my mark and then I'll continue with the mark. Okay, the way my pattern ruler is to the hip line. That is if you don't want it to be so tight. So, and if you notice, it matches up with what I have right there. So I'll quickly place this. I've already placed it anyway, so I'll now pin it so I can sew. So I'll come in with my pins right now and I'm going to sew right away. So the way it is facing now, right side to right side, I'm going to bring it, the marking I have on the back, I'll push in my pin on the marking I have on the back and I'll put it in the marking I have on the front. So as you are doing this, you have to make sure the waistline matches accordingly and you secure with your pin. So I will also go some distance and pushing my pin on the chalk mark and have it on the chalk mark and I'll secure with my pin. So that is exactly how I'm going to sew right on top of my pins now. So I'll go another distance on the chalk line. I'll also push it in on the chalk line I have, making sure everything stretches without rumpling. I'll push in after another distance like that. Okay, so you can see I'm pinning in a way I can sew on top of my pins. So I'll also push it in like this. Okay, then I'll come over to the knee line and I'll push in. So for the knee line, once you get to the knee line for the back, simply come in from there and do what? And take it this way. You can see how I curve that way. So that is how that part is usually done. Then I'm going to push in my pin on the chalk line and push on the chalk line. So it has to be on both chalk lines. Okay, it has to be pinned on both chalk lines. So once you have pinned this way, all you need to do, go to your machine and sew and continue your sewing to the hem. The same thing you will do for the left hand side of this skirt, do for the lining and all that. Okay, so once you have it done this way, you are good to go. So I can now trim off the excess I have on this part of the front skirt. Okay, so that is how to fit your skirt. So I believe you learned a lot from this tutorial. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video, share to family and friends, and drop your comments on the comment section and your suggestions as well. So thank you for coming, and see you in the next one. Bye.